Hey everybody, in today's video we're going to be looking at the wireless GPS dog fence system from the company My Pet Command. What I'm going to do is talk to you about the product real quick, show you everything it comes with, and then I'll go outside and do a demonstration of how the collar works. The picture on the box really does a good job of demonstrating what this product is. No cell phone app, nothing. All you do is use the collar. You're going to go outside, pick a point, set the GPS location, and then you're going to create a barrier of anywhere from 33 yards to 2,000 yards that your dog can roam around. Once they get to the outside of that barrier, the collar will start beeping. If they don't come back inside the barrier, it'll start vibrating. If they still don't come back, you can even set static correction. It uses the latest and greatest GPS technology. It has a GNSS chipset, so it's going to have the most accurate positioning information and satellite connection that you can get on the market today. The collar is designed for outdoor use, so you're going to want to set your location outside, but your dog can roam inside with the collar on, no problem. Mine keeps a GPS signal even indoors. If you lose that signal, as soon as your dog goes back outside, it will reconnect to the satellites and you'll be good to go. A nice thing with this collar is it also has a memory system, so once you set that location, the next time you turn on the collar, it will remember your location, it'll remember your radius size, so you don't have to reset it. Now, the one thing I will say with that is just like any GPS, your satellites are going to move. So every couple of days, you always want to kind of reestablish that GPS center point, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So we get the collar, we'll take a look at that here in a second. They give you 20 different plastic stakes. These are going to be so you can go put them in the ground to kind of get a visual of where your barrier is ending. With any GPS collar, you always want to test the collar before you put it on your dog, and this kind of gives you a visual of what your barrier looks like. They give you two different sets of metal prongs. Depending on the size of your dog, you can use either the short ones or the long ones, and then they give you various different sets of silicone covers that you can use as well. You're going to get a training manual and an instruction manual. It's really easy. There's not a whole lot to it. You'll see that in a second. Training dog whistle and a lanyard for the whistle. This uses a Type-C USB charging cable, which they provide for you. The collar has a 36 to 52 hour battery life, depending on use. And what I mean by that is how often is it being connected to the satellites? How often is your dog inside? How often are they exceeding the barrier? So you're going to have some range there. It's recommended that you charge it every 24 hours. You can get additional collars, so you always have one charged, but you really don't want your dog wearing this collar for over 12 hours at a time. So recommendation is put it on them, let them roam around for the day, and then charge it at nighttime. Be ready to use it the next day. The last thing they give you here is a test bulb, and what this is for is if you're using static correction, you can put this on the collar and test the static correction. So that's a quick look at everything it comes with. Let's go outside and see how it works. Bear with me because I'm going to try and film and show you the collar at the same time. It might be a little bit tricky and it might be a little bit hard to see my screen at times. You've got 4 buttons on the collar. The M button is going to be your power button. You've got this little waypoint button that's going to be what you use to set your center point for your GPS barrier, and then you have a plus and minus button. All I'm going to do is press and hold the M button. That turns on the collar, and this is what it's going to look like when it's connecting to the satellites. You'll notice this little blinking indicator. Now mine connected really quickly. It can take up to 3 minutes for you to connect to your satellites. Now I've already got a previous position that was set, so I'm going to reset it. To reset my GPS position, all I'm going to do is press the waypoint button and hold it, and it's reestablishing my center point, and now I've set the center point of my barrier. I'm going to press the waypoint button again, and I'm going to use the plus and minus button to adjust how big of a barrier do I want to give. Again, 33 is the minimum, 2,000 is the maximum. I'm going to do 33 so we can look at it. Look at the nice AMOLED display. It's really easy to see. And then what this is showing me is how far am I away from the center of my location. So you can see that it's drifted about 2 yards. Pretty accurate though. I haven't moved at all. It's showing that we're 2 yards away from a center point. I'm going to go ahead and start walking so we can see what happens when my dog gets to the end of the barrier. You'll notice the further away I get, the yards are going up because I'm getting further away from the center. You'll also notice on the side here this little icon, you can adjust your levels of correction. So I'm going to press the M button. Now I've got it set to vibrate. I've got it set for static correction. So you can choose whatever you want. Now remember, my barrier is set for 33 yards. We're getting pretty close to that. I've hit the end of my barrier, so I need to start coming back. That's basically the signal that your dog is going to get that they need to come back inside the barrier. Now, if I wouldn't have come inside the barrier, the collar would automatically increase the severity. What that means is it'll beep, and then again, if you've got vibration on, it'll vibrate. If you've got static correction on, it'll do static correction. It also goes into a protection mode. It's not going to continuously beep and vibrate and use static correction so that it doesn't freak out your dog. So it'll go into protection mode, let your dog settle down. If they don't come back in, then it will resume. But that's basically how it works. So you can see now I'm back inside of the barrier. The dog gets to the end again. The beep is loud. There's no adjusting the beep volume, but that's how it works. Really simple. I hope the video helps, at least gives you an idea of how the collar works. Thanks for watching.